Hello YouTube and welcome to another moto vlog coming at you from Route 9 heading towards Charlestown, West Virginia. We're passing through a town called Hillsboro, Virginia, and it is about it's about 38 degrees Fahrenheit right now. A nice cold fall day to enjoy some riding on, especially on the GS. You can see my riding buddies riding a little faster than I'd like, but there's not much I can do. I don't want to ride any faster. Trying to, catch up to them in a 25 mile an hour zone. But the road speeds up now and I start taking it a little faster. As you can see, I'm using the racing line a little bit. Murdering those corners. The way I do. That corner murdering. Yeah, I've had a couple drinks. What are you gonna say? What are you gonna do? Got that winery on the right. Very nice. Some nice clouds in the air. So now we're down on Charlestown Road, where the fun begins. Now this is our first pass. It's 38 degrees. It's our first pass. It's been raining all week, and I don't know what to expect. I gotta admit, I'm a little afraid that there's gonna be some shit on the road. So I'm gonna go pretty damn slow on this first pass, and I just want to show all of you people how I think you should be riding your first passes on these roads. You want to be able to ride within your sight lines. So if you can't see to the point where you need to stop, you're going too fast. You can see there's really nothing on the road so far, so that's pretty good. But that doesn't mean much going forward. You know, you could run into some gravel, run into some wet leaves, run into this, that, and the other. It's really hard to say. So riding, defensively is the key to all of this. You can see me kind of swerving there around the water a bit on the road. It was just a little bit of dampness, nothing to really worry about, but better safe than sorry. You can see me catching up on the brakes, and then he pulls away again through the corners. I'm just not having that kind of pace through, blind turns I can't see through. And especially here, he's accelerating away, and I'm just like, nah, I'm gonna wait and see what's going on here on this part of the road. Give him a good amount of space. You can see I catch up, he kind of slows down early, and I don't. Just evaluating the road. Now I always kind of check up here because there's an intersection on your left, and I don't trust it too much. Maybe one of these cars is going to pull out on you. You just don't know. So it's better safe than sorry. Better to take it a little easy there and give yourself some room to maneuver, if something bad were to happen. And again, here I don't know what the conditions are. If there's going to be water, if there's going to be rocks or gravel, sand, what have you on the road. Taking it nice and easy. And of course, this part of the road's nice and straight. He's way ahead of me. Not too much of a need to worry. You kind of rip it up to about his speed. But again, he's already ahead of me, so if I'm going to try to catch up to him, I have to go faster than he's going. And that's just not something I'm very interested in at this point in my ride, with it being the first pass and all. I just think it's so beautiful out here at this time of year. Got some leaves on the trees, but for the most part, it's all bare. And you can just see for miles, at least on a day like today. Then we got this beautiful river here that I focus on. Look at that. Just beautiful. You got the rapids, some nice green trees, everything like that. And this one kind of slows down at this point. He kind of checks up his pace and slows down. And there's not much else interesting to see here, really. So now we're going the other way. And we've been stuck behind these cars. We get back on the bridge. Time to make a pass. Pretty good stuff there. Ugh, crossing that white line, I don't like that. I don't trust riding over the paint. You lose a lot of grip, and especially when it's really cold like this, you need all the grip you can get, even if you are riding pretty damn slow, like we are. As you can see, I'm riding a bit more aggressively. I've gotten a little more confidence in the level of grip on the road. I know there's nothing on the road, so time to have a little bit of fun. So my buddy ahead of me here, I was trying to tell him that his lines just don't really cut it. I mean, he's not using the whole road or even close to it to a lot of these turns. Now that was pretty good. I'll give him that. That was pretty good. That was okay, but he doesn't go wide, you know? So he's entering that turn really shallow, and it's causing him to have to kind of lean over the center line. And if you just go a little wide there and enter the turn a little wider, you can put yourself in a much safer position. You know, the road straightens out here, not much to say. Again, he's entering the turn so shallow. You want to give yourself at least a little more room like I did, if not more. You know, we're not experts here. We don't have the perfect riding technique. We don't have the perfect body position. It's better to take it easy. And again, entering so shallow. Like, get around to the outside of the road there. He's turning in so early there. Killing his speed. Again, turning in so early. Killing his speed. Crossing that double yellow a bit. Now he's just going over there to avoid the water. I personally just run right through it. Don't see a problem there. It's just a little dampness in the road. Nothing to really be worried about. Oh, that's here where he does that. I guess that running across the yellow the first time was a mistake because the wind pushed him across. There's a lot of crosswinds. But you notice that wasn't a problem for me on my 600-pound bike. And at this point, he kind of checks up and slows down. And you see him crossing the double yellow there. Just like, why is he riding right near the edge of the yellow when we're riding, you know, in that one-up position? Anyway, so this is going to be me going ahead and doing my thing. So we'll kind of see what the difference is. See me riding towards the right side of the road here because there's a left turn coming up. That way I can kind of use more of the road. And you see me not going all the way to the left to set myself up for the next turn here. But again, I'm not using the road. I'm kind of an outside kind of guy. You can see it there. I don't go all the way inside, even though I totally could. So I'm giving up a lot of speed there by not using the whole road. But at the same time, I mean, how fast do you want to go when it's this cold out? And when there's turn-offs and houses and all kinds of shit all over the place. I mean, how fast do you really think it's safe to go? Now you can see me having to check up for a van here. Try to trail brake into him. And now he kind of ruined some of the best corners on this whole thing for me. But you know, I'm patient. It's fine. There's cars coming the other way. We got this on the... making a double pass, and that's dangerous. I'll give myself some minus points for that, making that double pass like that. But there was no one coming the other way. You know, as you can see, it's a quite long straight here, and it's easy to see if there's an approaching car. Again, you can see me kind of using more of the road and setting myself up on the outside for more shallow arcs through these turns. And that's what really is separating me from, you know, the guy behind. I'm sure he's not having a problem following me because I'm not really pushing the pace in any way, shape, or form because of the cold of the road. You know, you can see me check up there again. But again, I use like the whole road. I don't quite apex all the way in. But, you know, again, I'm taking mostly decent lines through these turns. You can see I'm up near the outside of the road there, and I'm kind of taking that out-in-out approach. Give it a little throttle. Again, not trying to go too fast. It's just so cold that it's just no fun to go that fast. See that guy crossing the double yellow lines in his car coming the other way. You gotta always watch out for that. And now you can see me catching up to the car in front, and that kind of ends this run. Especially with the car coming the other direction. I kind of check up, you know. So now we're further down the road. And this is just my feeble attempt at doing a wheelie over the crest. Tiny little wheelie. It looks so freaking pathetic. Now we're doing a little U-turn here. This is the way you should do a U-turn, keeping your head and your eyes up, looking through that turn. Makes it so easy. I could have made that so much tighter, but I didn't, just because there was no need to. So now we're going the other way again, following my boy. I kind of get stuck behind this guy. I see a car coming the other way, and I didn't want to make like kind of a dangerous pass. So I just hold back and hope that, you know, on the next passing zone, which comes around this next corner, I can make the pass. And it is what it is. You know, I'm not out here to impress anybody. I'm here to have a fun time, you know. And for me, you can have as much fun as you want, but if you don't make it home, you're not having a good time. If you crash head on into a car, you're not having a good time. If you're pissing the people off around you, at least for me, not having a good time. So now, you know, my sights are setting on catching up to the guy in front, which is kind of a bad thing. But basically, I'm just thinking, hey, now I can kind of run my own pace and go my own speed, and he's got no one to follow, so there's no way he's going to go as fast as me. So I'll slowly reel him in. You can see me going out and out, then going really in there because there's a left coming up, and you can see me reeling him in already. Big bump there. You gotta be careful. You're on the brakes, and then you hit that bump while you're on the brakes. It really exaggerates it. You know, that's something I want to ask is, you know, trail braking's great and all, but when you're trail braking over a bumpy road surface, like, is that the right technique to use? Because it feels a lot worse when you trail brake over a bumpy surface than when you're just coasting. So I don't, maybe not coasting, but when you know you're on neutral throttle through that surface. Now we kind of, you know, get stuck behind a guy, but he pulls off right away. Good stuff for us. Can open the bike up a little bit, gain a little acceleration. And you can see him again entering these corners so shallow. And look at how it causes him to go over the double yellow line. That's so dangerous. With much more lean than that, you know, he could really be liable to lay the bike down, and that's just not fun. You want to enter and do that out and out, you know. You really want to take a better line, do these turns and apex later. You know, early apex, short career. Late apex, long career. That's kind of how they put it. And this guy's taking those early apexes, and it could really lead him to problems down the road if he doesn't correct that behavior. Again, just trying to avoid there the water in the road. I don't really know why, but it is what it is. No one faults him for that. You can see me really on this faster part. Again, because he's barely using the road. You know, he has so much more road to use that it's so easy to catch him there. And like, look at him kind of crossing the road, the center line and stuff. Like, what is he doing? I even wave at the car coming the other way like, holy crap. Now here we go. We've already exited Charlestown Road. We did our 2 runs. And now we've got a little bit of fun coming up. Because, as you'll see, there is a big down tree blocking the whole road. At this point, I was thinking maybe we can cross it because, you know, we're on a motorcycle, but it's completely blocking the road and the shoulder. So our only hope would be to ride on the ditch. So I kind of flip over. I'm looking at my map and messing with it a little bit, and I see that, you know, we can continue down this road. So that's what I do. You can see me zooming out, looking where the road goes. And it looks like it connects to a road that'll get us back to where we want to be. So I'm thinking, you know what? Let's suck it up. I'm like, let's go. Let's do this. Take it nice and slow and just, you know, ride down here. I could ride a lot faster. I mean, I've got road tires on this bike, but it's still a GS. Road tires are not. These are the Pilot 4 Trails, which means they're very soft and they have decent grip on roads like these. So I have no problem whatsoever, but you know, my buddy, I don't know what kind of tires he has. They're certainly not super soft Pilot Road 4 Trails. They're probably a lot harder than that, and there's not much he can do. So I'm going to take it nice and slow so he doesn't feel pressured to try and keep up with me going, you know, at my own pace. You can see, though, it's kind of beautiful out here. I mean, our only other option besides this is not good. So I'm motioning him to come past me and then pull over so that we can have a little chat and see what's going on. I just want to make sure that he's okay, you know, riding on this road. Otherwise, we should turn around and get off of it as soon as we can, you know. So I'm going to shut up and let the conversation take fold here. I'll be back in a sec.
Yeah, can you handle it? Yeah. Then we're going this way. Alright. This will take us home. Alright. I'm good. I just want to put my glove on. That was all. Alright. Harper's Ferry Road. At least that's what my map says. Yeah, you'll be good on this stuff? Yeah. Just be loose. Stay loose.
And we're back. You know, conversation done. Time to move on and see what this road's all about. Never been on it before, so it seems pretty, you know, easy. Not a whole lot of gravel. It's just all dirt. Take it nice and slow, and there's no problem at all. And of course, with me on the GS, you know, it's so easy to stand. I don't see why I wouldn't. And I kind of look back a few times and I see him at first, you know, he's got his feet off the pegs, like worried that he's going to have to put a foot down to keep the bike up. But pretty quickly he realizes that's kind of like a fool's errand. Especially at these speeds we're doing, you know, 20 plus miles an hour, there's no need to put your foot down. it's gonna do more harm than good. I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt, or the, you know, perhaps knee injury almost. Gosh, that's a nice view. You can see me waving to him. I'm so worried about him because he's on a, you know, a Ninja 650R, and like with, you know, touring tires for a Ninja 650, so they're not meant to go on roads like this in any way, shape, or form. So, you know, I'm kind of worried because he could easily slide out and fall. So we're going to take it nice and slow, you know. We're about halfway through this clip already. This isn't a very long road. So don't worry if you're watching this and think this is going to go on forever and ever. It's not. We're almost done with the video. Just got another 4 minutes or so left. And, you know, I mean, this is just, you know, me gesturing the ride through the dirt, you know, stay off the gravel. You're going slow enough that you can see it coming and you should be able to avoid it. It's good stuff. It feels good to be back out here on roads like this. At least for me, you know, I'd missed it a lot, and so this was a great opportunity that we're kind of forced. Our only other option would have been to go down to 340 in Charlestown and then take 340 over to 15 and then ride all the way down 15, and that would have added 30 plus minutes to our trip, whereas this probably added 10 minutes to our trip. Well, turning around and going the other way would have added at least 30 minutes, probably 45 to our trip, whereas this added like 10 minutes to the trip, if that. So, you know, it's pretty good stuff. You know, it's all good in the hood if you can take this little sideway, this little detour. So here you can see me checking up big time for this corner. I'm sure if there's cars behind us, they're pissed, but they can just, you know, they can just take it easy because we're on motorcycles meant for the road, not for the dirt. I certainly wasn't about to go back to 340. In this cold, all that highway riding in the cold with my buddy who doesn't even have heated grips and has like metal grips with like, just not good for the cold. Not good for the cold, and I was feeling bad for him. We definitely wanted to avoid high-speed riding if at all possible. So here you got a little gravel you can't avoid. Just take it easy. Wanted to look over my shoulder and make sure he's okay. Even though it should be fine because it's just straight, you know, straight as an arrow. It's good stuff. I really love these roads. It's just so beautiful. This is like, you know, I wouldn't say country, but it is. This is like the closest thing you can get in Northern Virginia to like real country. And it's just great. You know, you got some turns, you got some elevation, but really it's not too bad. And of course you got to understand the GoPro takes away all the elevation. So this is actually a relatively steep hill, grade, whatever. But the GoPro makes it look almost completely flat. There's just no way to show it with a camera very well. You got a guy walking his dog, you know, give him a lot of space. And now we can see the end. We're already at the end of this little short little dirt road. No problems, no harm, no foul, you know. We took our little detour and everything worked out. Because as of this bridge, you know, the road becomes paved. It's a little muddy, but it's paved road, so it's not too bad. And you know, we get back to civilization, as they say. So at this point, I'm going nice and slow. I don't realize the speed limit on this road is actually 55 miles an hour, and I'm going like 35 because I figured it was like 30 or 35 miles an hour, not 55. See me just cruising along. I'm changing the settings on my bike. You can see there with my left hand, putting it out of enduro mode, turning traction control back on, things like that. Well, that's exactly what I was doing. And then I start to speed up, and that's kind of the end of the video, guys. It's been a while, so it's been really good for me to make this video, and I've been really happy to put one out. I hope you enjoyed, and think about your riding.